What's up, Black Love fam and first-time fam? We're getting ready to go man-to-man here on the Black Love Podcast Network. I'm David Wazicki, General Manager of Black Love, and I know you're going to love who I'm talking to today. But first, I have to give a shout out to Target. They've been partnering with HBCUs to support the next generation of Black talent. And one of the ways they're teaming up with HBCUs is through Target's HBCU Design Challenge, where HBCU students submit designs to be included in their Black History Month collection. And you know their Black History Month collection is fire. You see it everywhere, all month long in February. You can't miss it. All the designs are dope. So I'm really looking forward to that HBCU flavor that they're going to add into the mix. Winners of the Design Challenge get access to networking opportunities, mentoring, and more. So we gotta support this. It's truly an outstanding opportunity for up-and-coming Black talent. So please make sure you check back during Black History Month to see the latest winners at your local Target. I know I'm gonna check mine out. Shout out Target T1307 right here in LA. You know I'm gonna be there Feb 1 checking it out and see what's gonna be featured in their 2022 Black History Month collection. Celebrate your legacy, invest in the future. Together, we are Black Beyond Measure. Visit target.com/Black Beyond Measure to learn more. All right, family, we're going man to man with not a hope dealer, the hope dealer. He's a singer, producer, actor, husband, and just a really good brother, as you're going to find out. If you don't know this man, you won't forget this man by the end of this podcast. We are with the one and only Major. What's up, brother?
Yeah. And the crowd goes wild. Please, everybody. Yeah. Thank you.
Cue the air horn.
Yeah. Yo, thank you so much, David.
Feeling?
Thank you for having me, man. This is going to be good. I feel it. I've been seeing your work. I've been seeing your consistency. You are a hope dealer yourself, and so from hope dealer to hope dealer, I salute you. Yeah,
I appreciate that, brother. I appreciate that. I am so excited to dig into this, especially the release of the latest album, Asterisk, because we're going to really explain what this album is and what it means. Yeah. But as we do every trip, we are going to kick it off with getting you man-to-man blue check certified. Woo. So that kicks off with the one question we ask everybody to get the seal of approval. You ready?
Let's go.
What does masculinity mean to you?
Masculinity means, to me, the unapologetic embrace of your innate responsibilities.
You feel the innate responsibilities come from?
It's a knowing. I think social construct has defined masculinity in many ways that border, toxic, that it's just a bunch of bravado. But at the end of the day, we understand that as human beings, particularly as men, our call is to be providers, to be keepers, to be covering, and more importantly, to remember that as we give, we can't neglect ourselves. So the responsibility isn't just for what can happen externally, but internally. And when I say the innate responsibilities, I'm speaking to there's voice that we hear internally that says, I need you to show up. And it's you embracing that call and moving into showing up. Whatever that may be, it's being there for yourself and others, but fully, and making no apology for it. That's why I said it's the unapologetic embrace. I grew up understanding that, a man had a responsibility to reveal the essence of God identity on earth as it is in heaven. Be excellent, be loving, be kind, be considerate. Be strong, be courageous, and even in your weakness, be true. Yeah.
I love that. I love all of that. All of it. All of it. You're approved. Seal of approval.
Thank you, God. Thank you. Man, I was hoping I got that check. I was like, come on.
Hey.
Talk right, Major.
This is going to be that digital gold. You'll see.
Yes, sir.
Now, I introed you as a hope dealer.
Mhm.
And as we get into your new, beautiful, amazing album, again, asterisk against the word album, I have seen, just kind of looking back on your work, how you have introed yourself on stage, when you perform, when you introduce yourself. It's always been hope and love.
Bro.
It's been there. It's been there. You've subconsciously had this idea probably sitting and waiting for you. And lo and behold, you now present to us everywhere available major hope motivations.
Yeah.
Can you explain why you went from the musicality? It's still musical in nature, but you went from this musicality of expressing hope and love to more of a spoken word, inspirational, motivational album.
Yeah. Major hope motivations. This project I am so very proud of. I'm nervous. I'm excited to see what it does. I've been telling people, because this is my first completely independent, and I'm talking about independent without any backing from anyone else. It's all my own sacrifices and absolutely every bit of grace and favor God sprinkles on it. I'm excited about this one because it's very much aligned with the conversation I've been having musically. And that's hope in love, hope in life, hope in one's future. You can listen to my entire catalog from "This Is Why I Love You" to "I Just Want to Be Honest." Now, honest, we can talk more about that. We can break that down. That one got me my Grammy nomination, but that really aligns with this conversation about Black men, man to man, period. Having this conversation, Better With You In It, Way of the World, That's Me All Day though, and just my future. You're like, I've been having this conversation, but it's been a very melodic conversation, laced in the melodies and the all of the bedding of my tone and my falsetto. But then I said, you know what? I have a voice, yes, but I have a message, and that message is just as necessary as the voice. And I have to make sure that this message is clear to the brokenhearted, to the strong in heart, to the one who seeks better for themselves, the one who's holding barely on that last thread of hope. I have to speak to that, and I have language for it. So now more than ever, this would be the time to do it. And I'm telling you, I heard God say, do it. I tried to wait. I was like, I'm gonna wait till the next album because that's the perfect setup. They'll trust me. I can share this, and I can kind of put it right behind the new music, and the new music gonna be crazy, David. It's crazy. It's like Bill Withers, Marvin Gaye meets Coldplay. It's It's special. Okay. It's special. The soul of heaven meets earth. I heard a right now.
Yeah.
This is a conversation that people need to engage in right now. And we'll go deeper into that. But man, Major Hope Motivations is a right now conversation that I think will continue to be embraced for years to come. But I'm just leaving it out there and letting it do what it do,
Well, it's doing a lot of things for me to listen and experience this. This is something you go back to, and I believe it's your intention as well. It's something you can and should go back to daily. It is, yes, there's hope, there's love. The motivations, they're these affirmations, motivations, whatever you want to, inspirations, all the Asians, to be able to get you going, reframe. Right now, there was one in particular. I want to go through all of them because
I'll name them just in case. So we have hope, we have stillness, the moment, dear griever, not the only one, forgiveness,
big one,
you are worthy, and lastly, good night, my friend. It's 8 life-changing absolutely relevant meditations to embrace on a daily. It will literally walk you through your day. You can put one track on repeat. You can listen to it straight through. Only 19, 20 minutes of meditations. You know how some of those meditations are really long?
Yeah.
I was like, let me, in our world of instant and quick, let me give people something they won't have any excuse to say, well, it's so long. I need it to, no, be still for 1 minute and 57 seconds. You know what I mean?
That's the beauty of it. And I love it because as it's no longer than a music track, but I think it's exponentially more impactful.
Bro, thanks.
Because something like stillness, it's near and dear to me because for myself, when I started meditating, and I started listening to self, and I started listening to the higher power, is when I started making adjustments to this past I had. I dealt with depression hardcore for about a good couple of years. And this was in my early years. I was in my 20s. Mm-hmm. And until I found ways to move, ways to eat better. But the real breakthrough, not that those weren't breakthroughs, but one that was kind of like this wake-up call, is when I started meditating. I was still, as you said. Yeah. And yes, there are those where they just talk forever. This is a few minutes that can, if you can sit still for a few minutes, and God bless you if you can't in this day and age, sit yourself down and be quiet and be still for just 3 minutes. It really does move you. And it really, all you need are these 3 minutes to listen to what you are putting down for them to pick up and reset.
And the thing is, thank you, bro. Thank you. One of the most amazing feelings is when you're a guest on a show and the interviewer has done the work, the research, so that we're not like, I'm not having to reintroduce something, but we can really engage on that next level conversation to go deeper into the why. Everything you said is exactly my intention. I'm intending to help course correct, not to deny, not to pretend your reality is not what it is, but to course correct the language about it, the narrative that we've given to it. Depression is not foreign to humanity.
Right.
Many, almost most of us deal with depression at some point. A lot of people don't have language for what depression is. I think when you have language for being able to identify depression, you actually are more closer to your recovery than you are not. Because a lot of people don't know how to just say, this is what this is. So they don't know where to go to remedy it. And I think that there are offerings that even depression and anxiety and all of these things give us. They offer us a introspection, a survey of what is happening in our reality that we need to face. And oftentimes people's natural response is to retreat or to go deep into a space of hopelessness. But I have learned through therapy, which I think is a valuable tool, that it's a tool and treasure, that depression is not something to run from, but it is absolutely something to acknowledge and then choose to do something about.
Right.
Don't run first. Acknowledge it. Face it. We're bigger than depression. Every human being has a greater power than depression. Depression is like a storm, but every single storm runs out of rain at some point. I try to encourage people with these approaches to the circumstance. As a music artist, as a creative, as an actor, I have been depressed many times. Some of the best music has come out of depression. I mean, we think about Mary J. Blige. You know, people were like, I don't want to hear her healed. And it's no, I do want to hear her healed. But I will say, when she was going through, that music hit, it bangs, you know? But So it's not all bad, but I always tell people, please acknowledge your feelings, but don't stay there. If they don't serve you for the better, don't stay there. Acknowledge them, but don't stay there. Yeah.
Yeah. We've had this come up a few times in different ways of expressing that, where we had Christian Keys on, and he was acknowledging, he said, sit in it. But like you just said, don't stay there.
Don't stay there.
The power is getting to the acknowledgement, like you said. And that leads me again. As I'm talking, it's funny because I'm going through the track lists of this album, and thing that comes up is you're not the only one, because when you get that deep into it, again, I've been there. And sometimes I've fallen back, thank God, not as hard, because I have tools and I have ways to realize I have to acknowledge.
And bro, pin your thought, because I want to celebrate you in this moment, because you don't look like what you've been through. I got to celebrate you, man. We often talk about these overcoming moments like they're just things, but they are worthy of celebration. To be able to say that I used to really be entrapped by depression for 3 years, and to be on the other side of it, to be able to say, woo, those were the days. Bro, I celebrate you, man. I celebrate you.
I will take that.
Go on.
Now I will. Now I need a minute. Now you got me in my feelings.
But
Thank you, brother. I appreciate
that. That's a part of the masculinity. That's a part of the humanity. Understanding that vulnerability is strength at work, at play, because your ability to be vulnerable and still be takes guts. That takes a real power. And so I salute you. And I think we need to make it habit to take pauses to celebrate us overcoming the demons and the difficulties and the hardships that most people are taken out by, or many are taken out by.
No, I agree. I appreciate that. And see, even as much as I have these conversations, I get caught in some of those old patterns where it's, I used to deal with that. I'm over that now. It's like, no, like you said, I need to acknowledge and appreciate the victory that I had in overcoming that.
Throw a party, go have some coffee on me. You drink coffee or tea, whatever you drink. You probably not, but you're not. But listen,
look.
I got you for lunch. You're celebrating today. All right.
My brother. Cool. All right. I appreciate you.
Yeah.
Not
the only one.
Not the only one. And one of your tracks, but also I had to realize that was one of the things I had to get to. And if you don't have the tools, if you just shun therapy, if you shun help, and again, man to man, how many brothers out there are like, oh yeah, therapy? Woo, I'm ready for this. Nah, I'm good. Nah, I'm all right. I know how to handle. But thankfully, one of the realizations that's coming with these conversations, and even for me, even more so, I also thought I was in this minority of men who were trying to seek out more, who were trying to be more open and honest and vulnerable and be more expressive and emotional. But with every conversation I have on the mic or off, there are men that have been starving to have these conversations, to open up to more men.
Yeah.
And from all walks of life.
Bro, you've answered a call that is very much necessary. Man to man is what we all long for. You know how it is talking to your buddies, the one you can trust, the one that you just share everything with, and you know what it feels like. You're like, man, I wish that we can have this all the time. If social construct didn't make talking to buddies as often or hanging around them so weird, we'd be doing it a whole lot more. But I think the pandemic, it has really given us permission to fellowship, and connect with whomever, whenever, however, for our happiness and healing. Period. You're seeing the TikTok challenges of groups of men, of groups of women, or guys being vulnerable, just being honest. And that's a powerful thing, man. And I salute guys like an Eric Thomas or my bro, King Jay Barnett. I don't know if you've had him on yet, but listen,
he's coming.
That's my guy. That's my guy. And he's got a new book called Just Heal, bro. Just heal. And we all want that. But a lot of us don't know how to get to healing because we have been thrown all of these rules by the construct, by social construct, and we're fumbling through trying to accommodate these unrealistic expectations. And it's like, healing is simply feeling. And then dealing is first feeling and then dealing. Bro, that just hit me.
Yeah.
Because that's what it is.
That's why I was silent. I was like, huh? Okay.
Healing is first feeling.
Feeling.
And then dealing.
Yeah.
You can't heal what you don't reveal. And that's the feeling and healing it, because a lot of times we've been taught to suppress it. Don't cry. Don't talk about it. If it ain't about how we fixing this problem, I don't need to talk about it. You talked about the problem enough. No, talk through the problem so that you make certain that you don't miss any of the areas that need to be dealt with on your way to the answer and the solution. Not the only one. Course corrects us. Shout out to Not the Only One Week, right?
Yeah.
Where it course corrects the way in which we approach thinking we are all alone. We are not alone in this. There are people all around the world going through what we've been through, what we're going through, or even worse. And it's not to lessen the value of your own experience, but it's to help you understand that in this space, I am getting through it. I will get through it. And through is the operative word. Self-care, self-love. I say it right at the end. That self-love hits different when it's healthy and consistent. Maybe the company we need, because often we look for people to affirm us in what we're feeling or whatever, but we're smart enough to know this is what I'm feeling and this is how I need to heal. Maybe the company we need is us. Maybe the company you need, to the brother watching, is you. Honor you. Make time for you. In all of your giving, neglect not yourself, so that you can be more ready for the next assignment you've been called to.
All right. Before I get into this next question, I've got to mention something. Target is partnering with HBCUs to support the next generation of Black talent. One of the ways they're teaming up with HBCUs is through their HBCU Design Challenge, where HBCU students submit designs to be included in Target's Black History Month collection. I think that's pretty dope. I think the Black History Month collections are pretty dope. Not only are they on full display every single year, but HBCU students are going to bring it. So I'm excited to see what's coming out in 2022. So fam, check back during Black History Month to see the latest winners' designs that will be featured in Target's 2022 Black History Month collection. Celebrate your legacy, invest in the future. Together, we are Black Beyond Measure. Visit target.com/Black Beyond Measure to learn more. Okay, let's get back into it. Yeah. I mean, powerful.
Bro, I don't mean to be deep. We can tell some jokes, but it's real conversation. I'm so glad therapy is back on trend in our communities. It's especially a good thing, our community,
especially because it's been. I mean, here's the thing. Growing up, so my mom's run the gamut of it. It's all been, Jesus and God, but it's been I've been Baptist, I've been Pentecostal, I've been all the things.
Every denomination, yeah.
Every denomination under the sun. One commonality for all of it was, you don't need no therapy. You got Jesus. You got Jesus. You don't need no therapy. We're human. We're human. If I can't go to you and you literally put the fear of God in me, I don't know where to go. I start, I become confused and I don't know what else to do. And then I have to wait to get onto your good side. And you're like, honey, just pray on it, which you should do. But there's a reason. There's a reason this has been created.
The absence of seeking wisdom and understanding more informed than your own. The absence of that is foolishness. There has never been a space in Bible that says, figure it out with your own intellect. It literally says to seek understanding, to study and show thyself approved, to gain wisdom. Solomon prayed for wisdom and understanding. We get that by the counsel and through fellowship and through the teachers, the wise people. Even Jesus was amongst the wise. The wisest of them all had the nerve to dwell amongst wiser. Unfortunately, this was passed down by way of the Western way of doing Christianity.
Now you're going where I'm at.
Right. And particularly in our communities, the African American community specific, because you don't find this as often on the continent, because the continent celebrates the griots, the wise ones, they celebrate that. But African Americans have been subjected to a limitation of space and room to both hope and heal at the same time. Enslavement disallowed us to publicly heal. We had to present hope only.
Right.
If you're hurt, don't show me that. You have no room to do it. You have no time nor room to do it. The beautiful thing is what we don't celebrate enough, that even in the unjust treatment and condition and circumstance, we had grandmothers and grandfathers that had these sit-down conversations, that if we actually took the time to listen, they were giving us the tools to get through the circumstances. And the limitation of the enslaved also infringed on our religious practices, where we were only given certain chunks of the Bible. Exactly. So we didn't get to read all of Proverbs that spoke to the wisdom that you need to seek counsel. We didn't get to see Timothy where it says study and show yourself approved. We didn't get to see all of these other various different parts of the Bible where in Exodus it says God has given us the ability to create wealth, write the vision, make it plain. We didn't get those things. So journaling and all these things that are a part of the therapeutic process, we didn't get to learn these things, but we picked them up along the way. Thanks be to God that even in the oppression, our ancestors had a hope that they did not let go of. They did not let go of. And so now, because they hoped, we are the evidence and the results of that hope. But we have to do them the honor of getting the help that is now accessible because of their hopeful fight for our opportunity. So I challenge all of us to, yes, we love our parents and we know they did the best they could with what they had. But now that we have access to more, we change and fix the narrative.
There we go. There we go.
Bro.
Mic drop. You were,
bro. That's what it is.
That is what it is. That is what it is. And
it's good, man. It's good.
You coming with it, Major. I think
because this is who I am. It's who I am.
Yeah.
It's who I am. I can laugh and joke, and I can tell jokes for days. I'm a beast.
Oh, I know you can.
I'm a beast with the hilarity. Let me make that clear.
And let me just say, when I first met you, you were just coming with the jokes. It was you and
they go. Was it me and Tommy or what? Who was it?
You and Tommy. You remember? Yeah. That morning,
That's
and you
brother.
Just kept going. I was like, Tommy Oliver, shout out, and I was like, this brother's hilarious. And then the next time I met you was in a different space where you were in your musical space at the BET Award after. NAACP Image Awards.
Image Awards,
after party. And I was like, wait a minute. You're the same Major for This Is Why I Love You, Major? The same song that I used to make the baby reveal announcement of my baby girl 4 years ago?
Yeah.
What? You and him are the same Major? You're not another brother named Major. You are Major, period.
Yeah.
And I was like, this brother's dynamic. He's
Listen.
1 minute he's joking, the next minute he's getting into his feelings, and now you come out here and you're preaching and just
bro,
dropping
it is
the gems.
Every aspect of me. What you saw with the funny, what you saw with the creative, the musical, what you saw with the serious, what you see now with the deep. It is all authentic to who I am. I am all of this. I encourage people, and I encourage men right now. I say this often. Be cool. Be cool. The definition of cool is the unapologetic embrace of your uniqueness. When you embrace your uniqueness, you find your distinction. And right in the heart of your distinction, you've unlocked your superpower. And then you can't be stopped. You're only embraced because creation is applauding your arrival. Because you were created to be an answer to a specific need in the earth. When we chase trends, we chase an already answered need. Get to the work that you know you're called to, responding masculinity to that innate responsibility and showing up in full. And when I say in full, I'm not saying in perfection. I'm not saying in flawlessness. I'm saying in the all of what is in the moment that you do it. Rise up in all of that. I guarantee you the divine will make up the difference, and it will be more than enough.
I feel like you just spoke to me.
Yes,
I know
sir.
you spoke to all of us, but I that hit me because I felt that one.
Don't miss that these encounters, though many may be in a moment, it's intended for you to receive it and you to embrace it all for you. That's how beautiful God is, that he would consider a multitude of people and assure that each one feels seen, heard, and understood. That's crazy.
That is crazy. That is crazy. That's something to meditate on. I was just about to say, I need to hang around you more. 1, 2.
Yes. Yeah, we can do that. We can do that. 2,
I feel like these isms that you're dropping, I was like, damn, we need something where you can just be dropping these gems daily. Boom. Major motivations. We back. Hope motivations. It's right there. It's available. I love it. I want to ask, all of this knowledge you just dropped, all of these gems, where did it start from? So where did this journey begin, where you started realizing and breaking through? Because it sounds like you had a church upbringing. I know you're from Houston, Texas, baby. So I know you got that southern. You even got a day after you. I heard you were proclaimed a major day.
Yeah.
So congrats on that.
Thank you. Thank you.
That's a big full circle, by the way. Let me pause on that.
Shout
That's a
out
big
to
full circle, by the way.
See what you did. You just learned. You just quickly learned a habit. You talked about it, and then you said, "Let me take a pause with it to give it its space to be celebrated." I respect you for that, and I thank you. May 20th is now officially Major Why I Love You Day in the city of Houston, Texas, my hometown. Thanks to Mayor Sylvester Turner. You ask me how and when did it start? My mom, my stepdad, my family have all been entrenched in kingdom, in God, in church. And it was never a force me to learn it. It would be you want some of this because it's good. It yields results. It yields the good stuff. And I was the kid that my imaginary best friend, believe it or not, was Jesus. I literally talked to Jesus like my imaginary best friend as a kid. And I still talk to Jesus. I talk to Jesus on every day. I now understand that's Holy Spirit, that is available to all of us. But early on, like I was the kid where my kindergarten teacher would talk to me about her problems, her life. And it wasn't like, it was strange because I wouldn't take the nap, in kindergarten. I would just be up and she says, Major, come help me fold these papers or come help me clean up this area if you're not going to go to sleep. And then we start talking and she's just talking about life. And I'm just enthralled with the conversation. And I had response and I had perspective. And I remember in grade school, them making me a peer mediator. And so I was learning how to listen and to give and to listen and to give. And I haven't fully mastered the balance all the time, but I definitely learned how to do both. Marriage is teaching me like no other teacher. Shout out to 1 year married. Bro, y'all could have told me marriage was an adventure. But
when children come in, I'll tell you that's another adventure. We can talk about that one.
I can only imagine. I'm one of 10 siblings. I grew up in a household of a blended family, and that community of diversity taught me a lot about humanity. Every one of us have different personalities. There's some that are a little similar. Me and my youngest brother, Titus, are probably the most similar, but even that I see the differences of our personality. So I learned how to be amongst different and many. And so, it just kind of became my language. My mom told me my name, Major, when I was about to graduate college. The reason she named me that was that I'd make a major impact on the world. And, she, got pregnant with me, considered aborting me twice because she was embarrassed to have a kid out of wedlock. And clearly she didn't because I'm here.
Clearly.
And I thank her for that. But she told me when I was about to graduate Berklee College of Music, the first out of the 10 to even go to college. And so it was understanding purpose was to be unapologetically me. And that was as a hope dealer. I know I have a language to encourage people. I have a way of, and I'm talking about the roughest, the toughest, the most stubborn people. I have this weird way of penetrating like the shell, and everybody eventually embraces me where they're like, yo, it's crazy because I'll get dudes that are like, I'm talking about hood, where they're like, I have a song called Serendipity. That was when I first saw the impact that I had. Serendipity talks about when the beauty of life comes together despite the uncertainty of their beginnings. And it's featuring my sister Jade Nova. But Serendipity, it goes, and I remember dudes like coming up to me like, yo, man, that song Serendipity, man, I didn't even know that word, but yo, that, man, it hits me right here, man. And I'm like, yes, my brother, that was for you. and now with Honest, my song Honest is crazy because Honest, there's a line in Honest that basically speaks to understanding that your authenticity is your superpower. And Honest says, I've been trying to be perfection when broken is what makes us human. And I just want to be honest with all my faults around. I may let you down. I just want to be honest. Oh, honest. I can't do it without you. Don't want to let you down. And it's like, it's this super duper song. And it's like this anthem for people that just feel misunderstood. And, you know, the Black man in particular, Black men are human. Black is love. I help us understand that our cry, our circumstance, our burden, our story is just as essential as the next man. Don't ever get it twisted. Don't ever get it twisted.
Facts.
So it's been my language for a minute, bro. It's been my language for a minute, and it feels good and it flows naturally.
So all right. And then let me get to this. Something I also like to ask every man that has jumped on the platform and gone man to man with me. So now that you're here, now that you have this natural flow, what are some of the daily routines or rituals that you have, mind, body, and or soul, that keeps you in this rhythm? Because again, like we said at the top of this conversation, we have our wavering times.
Yeah.
And you know, we have tools in our toolkit. We have these things that we go back to that are either the anchors for us, that ground us and reset us. So besides listening to Major Hope Motivations, what else? You said something key. The word that stands out is daily. Oftentimes we operate with forever, but we don't bless the daily, the right now moment and effort. The right now, it takes one day at a time, one step at a time to fully experience healing. Never will you have a doctor that says it's probably going to be about 6 months before you walk again. Rush it. They would never say that. They say, take your time, be intentional, work it every single day to build that endurance, to build that muscle, to build the memory. So for me, it's daily. It's been a work. I want to be very clear. While I've always had this language, I haven't always applied it. I think this is what the birth of Major Hope Motivations was. It was a challenge in the midst of the pandemic, that the hope I give is the hope I must live. And so it is a daily reminding. I wrestle with worthiness more than I realized, because I've always been courageous. I didn't realize that until I thought about it, that often when I arrive to the things that I work and hope for, I start doubting if I'm qualified for the thing that I put in work for. Yeah.
I start questioning, did I swindle my way into this?
Right.
Bro, it's the weirdest thing. And shout out to a thinker that I respect greatly, Lovey. I don't know if you've ever seen some of her stuff. She's a professional troublemaker. Yeah. But she talks about imposter syndrome. And yes. I'm like, oh, no, I don't deal with that. No, I don't deal with that. I definitely know that I deserve this and deserve that. But every time I end up in the space, I start questioning whether I deserve it. Did I do something? Did I pretend?
Right.
And it's so crazy, the war. But what happens when the way to diffuse that monster that comes back up, has no power, but it just shows up, is to really commit to a daily regimen of affirmation, of meditation, and of introspection. And so I look in the mirror and I remind myself, this is a day that will be championed. This is a day that you belong in. You are here because your assignment is not up. There is work to do. There is vision to see. You have nothing to prove to anyone but yourself. Own what you have. Nobody does it like you. Nobody does it better than you. When you do you. You don't do it better than them when they do them. I say this, and I'm saying this for you, so that in case, because I'm feeling that you probably wrestle with the worthiness issue, far too big is the sky for only one bird to fly. And beautiful is the night when more than one star shines. We all belong up there. There's room for all of us. Let's rise up, bro. Let's do it one moment and day at a time.
I could keep talking to you forever. Honestly, brother, this has been amazing. I'm trying to be mindful of our time together.
Yeah.
We're going to have a major talk, part 2. Let's
do it, bro.
Come back at it.
Yeah.
I feel like this is one of those conversations. I feel like I have a lot, but this one in particular, I think because of where your headspace is with Major Hope Motivations. And like you said, this is you, and this is unapologetically you. And I feel like this has probably been the most you, free flowing.
Woo! Free flowing. Cause this stuff is just coming. And I'm like, and it's helping me and reminding me, because there's a lot of transition that I'm facing right now. I'm in the midst of a lot of new and unfamiliar, but I literally have to move. Confidence is simply informed by the recall of your past wins. If you won before, if you overcame it before, you will realize that you have enough to courageously move forward into the next. We have enough to be confident. Stop doubting or questioning where you'll get it from. Recall the fact that you've arrived to where you are right now. I'm having to encourage myself, and I encourage myself daily. Major, you can do this. You got this. And where you fall short, God will pick up the slack. And the beautiful thing is, when you're fully surrendered, you realize God is walking and carrying you the entire time. This ain't in my own strength. Yeah. It's just me showing up that activates the progress. Woo! I needed that. 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 I needed that.
There it is. And I think that points back to what you were just saying a moment ago about the daily intention. I think that's it right there. You just hit it. And I think that's why you just felt it for yourself, because you just reminded yourself of the wins. You reminded yourself of the confidence. You reminded yourself of the higher power that's carrying us through anyway. It's like once we connect and we realize
we're not alone.
We're not alone. We're not alone. One of the biggest quotes, one of the simplest quotes, one of the yet deepest and profound for me is let go and let God. It is so simple, but it's so deep, and it should be so reaffirming and faith building and all the things you just mentioned.
It takes strength to let go. It takes strength to be able to let go and trust that you will still win. Right. It takes a great deal of strength. Right. But it has been proven that when we get out of the way I remember, bro, I had Why I Love You winning in every space. It didn't get me my Grammy nomination. That threw me off. So I write Honest with a team of writers, and we get Honest, and Honest gets me my nomination only after dealing with pressures that I put on myself, thinking that I needed to outperform my last win, thinking that people are going to be like, yeah, but I bet he can't do it again. And so I had to get to a space of quiet, and my anxiety could only hear its voice bouncing on the wall. And then in that space of quiet, I invited the divine into the space. I'm in Hawaii at the time, my first vacation that I could afford.
Yeah.
And then I say, God, I don't know. I don't have the answer. And he says, thank you. Finally, because I do. Will you let me give it to you? And I remember in that experience of being before the ocean and seeing all of this, if he takes care of this, certainly I can be taken care of in the mix. I get back, find out Why I Love You goes gold, find out that Honest gets nominated for a Grammy, then also find out that I've been asked to audition for the TV show Star because they're looking for me. When we let go and we let God, that does not mean we stop believing, we stop hoping, we stop committing our heart and intention for a thing. It simply means that we make available room and leadership and navigation of a power greater than us that considers us as it moves us into the fullness and the all of what destiny has intended for us. It will always end with victory when we move in this space. Try it and then talk to me later.
I'm going to leave it at that. We're going to hold right there.
Thank you, man. Man to man, I appreciate you.
I appreciate you for going man to man with me today. I appreciate you for just letting it flow, and therefore being honest, open, vulnerable. I appreciate you, brother. And
yeah,
for everybody watching, listening, you can follow Major at Now That's Major on IG.
Yeah.
Go support this beautiful thing that is more than an album. It's a meditation. It's all the Asians we were talking about earlier. Major Hope Motivations available out everywhere you can find music. It's streaming everywhere, easily accessible, and even more easy for you to be able to tap in to these 8 tracks of pure motivation. That's what it is. Meditation and motivation. And in the meantime, make sure to tell another brother, king or queen, about Man to Man, so we can keep these conversations going and keep building each other up. And if there's someone you want to hear on Man to Man, connect with me on Instagram at Wasicki, WASICKI. And in the meantime, in between time, till next week, peace, love, and hope.
I like that. David, I'm proud of you. And I thank you. You're doing a great job in life and in career. And to every brother looking and watching now, I thank you for showing up. I salute you. My name is Major. And if it's okay, David, I approve this message. All right, man. This is fun.
All right, brother. Yeah.